Israel just carried out a strike on Qatar. But let me tell you something even bigger. China just unleashed the real strike on America's economy. And this strike is going to cost the U.S. so heavily that you can't even imagine. Think about it. Donald Trump is banking on massive investments coming into the U.S. from Qatar, the Middle East, and around the world. But all of that is now under threat. So what happened? China just pushed gold prices straight to the sky. Gold has now crossed $3,700 an ounce, an insane level. And the shocking part? China is buying gold at such a speed that the market has gone out of control. It's what experts call overbought when an asset's price shoots up to extreme levels, creating risk of financial collapse. Now here's the dangerous part. China isn't just buying gold. Other big players are following its lead. Everyone can see a storm coming. Beijing is dumping US dollars and piling up gold reserves instead. So what happens next? Investors in countries holding US dollars? They've also started selling off. That's where the real risk begins. Remember what Russia learned? When Europe froze their money in banks, Moscow realized only one thing survives restrictions: physical gold. You can freeze digital money, but you can't freeze real gold. And China has taken that lesson very seriously. Now Trump is panicking. He's pressuring the Federal Reserve. Cut interest rates, lower borrowing costs. When interest rates drop, everyday Americans benefit. Cheap mortgages, lower credit card bills, more purchasing power. But globally, it means America pays less interest to lenders holding U.S. debt. So those lenders, they're now looking for safer returns, and they're running toward gold and away from U.S. bonds. Yes, the stock market may see a short-term boost, but the real safe haven reputation of the dollar is cracking. And here's the scary truth. The U.S. dollar was once untouchable, the safe currency of the world. But now, investors are confused. Gold is surging, crypto is climbing, even the euro and the yuan are strengthening. Markets are restless, panicking, because no one knows where to put their money. And this time, China is the buyer, and nobody in the world can outbuy China. Look at India. Look at Pakistan. Pakistan, well, its economy is already in ruins. But even in India, gold demand for weddings has dropped by 50%, simply because prices are just too high. Why? Because the big global players have entered the game. Trump is desperate to bring gold prices down, but China is dragging the entire world toward gold. And all major players, they're watching Beijing's moves very carefully. Here's the danger. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the Middle East are preparing to invest trillions of dollars into America. But when they see that gold is skyrocketing, they'll ask themselves, why risk our money in US dollars if the future belongs to gold? This is catastrophic for the dollar. Because the dollar was always the world's reserve currency, nations held their savings in it. But now, that trust is breaking. And when the dollar weakens, US imports weaken. Fuel prices rise, raw materials get expensive. Inflation skyrockets. Gold prices going up, global inflation going up. And investors? They're abandoning risky assets like stocks and bonds for one thing: gold. So here's the brutal truth. The American market is on the edge of a shakeup. Even big U.S. corporations are starting to shift their money from dollars to gold. This strike, much bigger than Israel's strike on Qatar. Because this time it's China striking directly at America's foundation, the dollar. And for Trump, the timing couldn't be worse. His midterm elections are coming. If the dollar weakens and the cost of living rises, voters will punish him hard. Already people are asking, why save in US dollars if its value keeps dropping? Gold is climbing while the dollar is crumbling. That's a red flag for America's economic stability. And China is pulling the strings. Even Netanyahu has started pointing fingers at Beijing because this gold strategy is shaking not just America, but Israel too. You see, America's strength was that when Washington moved, the world followed. But now, the world is watching China. India has started buying gold aggressively, even dumping U.S. bonds to move into safe assets. This is America's nightmare. The Middle East promised to pour trillions of dollars into U.S. projects. But if gold keeps climbing, those nations will think twice. Why put trillions into a weakening dollar when gold offers real security? And when that happens, America's global financial dominance? Over. This is the strike China just launched, and it's bigger than any missile strike. It's a strike that shakes the foundation of the U.S. economy. And mark my words, over the next 3 to 4 years, the world will see its impact. The dollar will weaken, the cost of living will rise, and America's power will decline. Because when China plays the gold card, nobody can stop it. So, don't forget to follow Truth Uncovered. Like this video, share it, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.